What if I told you that one of the world's most beloved novels hides within its pages a roadmap to living your best life? I'm talking about The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, a story that feels simple on the surface, but beneath it lies a treasure chest of timeless wisdom. It's a book that has inspired millions to chase their dreams, trust the process, and listen to the whispers of their own hearts. But here's the thing. Most people read The Alchemist and think of it only as a nice fable. What they don't realize is that it contains practical lessons, guidelines you can actually use in your daily life. So in this video, we're diving into the top 10 life lessons from The Alchemist. Each one will give you both the inspiration and the tools to apply its wisdom to your own journey. Let's begin. Summary of The Alchemist. Before we dive into the life lessons, let's quickly recap the story of The Alchemist. The novel follows Santiago, a young shepherd from Spain who has a recurring dream about finding treasure at the base of the Egyptian pyramids. He feels this dream is more than just fantasy, it's a calling. Guided by a mysterious king named Melchizedek, Santiago learns about the concept of a personal legend, which is essentially your life's purpose. Inspired, he sells his flock of sheep and sets off to chase his destiny. His journey isn't smooth. Early on, he's robbed and left with nothing, forcing him to work for a crystal merchant to rebuild his resources. While it feels like a setback, this chapter teaches him valuable lessons about persistence and adapting to life's challenges. Continuing his quest, Santiago encounters an Englishman searching for the secrets of alchemy, the ancient science of turning lead into gold. Through this friendship, Santiago learns that true alchemy is more about inner transformation than material wealth. He also meets Fatima, a woman of the desert, and falls in love. For a moment, he's tempted to stay and abandon his quest. But Fatima reminds him that true love never holds you back. It supports your pursuit of purpose. Later, Santiago meets the alchemist himself, a wise figure who helps him understand deeper truths, that listening to your heart, embracing the journey, and trusting the universe are essential for reaching your destiny. Finally, after surviving trials and near-death experiences, Santiago reaches the pyramids, only to discover that the treasure isn't there. Instead, he realizes that the treasure was buried all along back in Spain, at the very spot where he first had his dream. The twist is powerful. The external journey was necessary for Santiago to grow, but the real treasure was always within his reach. At its core, The Alchemist is not just about chasing gold or adventure. It's about following your dreams, overcoming fear, and learning that the universe conspires to help you when you pursue your true purpose. And that's where the wisdom lies. Now let's break down the 10 most powerful lessons from this modern classic and explore how you can apply them in your own life. Lesson 1. Follow your personal legend. At the core of The Alchemist is the idea of a personal legend. This is Coelho's term for your true purpose in life, the thing you're meant to pursue, the dream that burns inside of you. For Santiago, the shepherd boy in the story, it's the journey to find treasure near the pyramids of Egypt. But more importantly, it's about discovering who he becomes along the way. Most of us have a personal legend too, though life often distracts us from it. We compromise, settle, and sometimes bury our dreams because they feel unrealistic or impractical. But Coelho's message is crystal clear. Ignoring your personal legend leads to regret, while pursuing it, even if the road is hard, leads to fulfillment. Here's the kicker. Your personal legend doesn't always have to be dramatic. It might be starting a business, becoming a great teacher, writing a book, or raising a family with love and intention. The key is that it's yours. Practical tips. 1. Identify your calling. Ask yourself, what excites me so much that I'd do it even if I wasn't paid? When do I feel most alive? Write these down. 2. Start small. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. Take small steps, a side project, a new skill, or reaching out to mentors. 3. Set a guiding question. Each morning, ask yourself, what one thing can I do today that brings me closer to my personal legend? 4. Ignore the noise. Family, friends, or society might push you in another direction. Respect their voices, but don't let them drown out your own. 5. Measure progress, not perfection. Every step forward is part of the journey. Celebrate milestones instead of waiting for the big moment. The lesson is simple but powerful. Life is short. Your heart knows your treasure. Follow it. Lesson 2. The power of listening to your heart. One of the recurring themes in The Alchemist is listening to your heart. At first, Santiago is skeptical. He doubts whether his heart is trustworthy. It sometimes seems fearful, sometimes restless. But as the story progresses, he realizes that the heart is wise because it's connected to the soul of the world. In modern terms, your heart is that inner compass, intuition, gut feeling, call it what you will, that nudges you toward what matters most. We often silence it with logic, fear, or the opinions of others. But the book teaches us that ignoring your heart leads to a life of what-ifs. Practical tips. 1. Quiet the noise. Spend 10 minutes daily in silence. No phone, no distractions. Just ask, what do I really feel right now? 2. Notice patterns. Your heart speaks through recurring feelings and desires. If the same dream keeps popping up, pay attention. 3. Balance with reason. Following your heart doesn't mean ignoring logic. Instead, combine intuition with practical planning. 4. Act quickly on small nudges. If your heart tells you to call someone, apply for something, or take a chance, do it before doubt creeps in. 5. Keep a heart journal. Write down moments when you felt deeply aligned or misaligned. Over time, patterns will show you what your heart truly values. Coelho reminds us, your heart might be afraid of suffering, but fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. Trust it. Lesson 3. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. When Santiago dreams of treasure, he imagines the pyramids, gold, and success. But along the way, he learns that the real treasure is who he becomes through the journey. This is a profound lesson for all of us. We live in a culture obsessed with results, the degree, the promotion, the perfect relationship. But if you're always fixated on the end, you miss the beauty of the process. Life happens in the journey, not just at the finish line. Practical tips. 1. Redefine success. Instead of only asking, did I hit the goal? Ask, what did I learn along the way? 2. Celebrate micro wins. Each small victory builds momentum. Don't wait for the big achievement to feel proud. 3. Stay curious. See obstacles as teachers. Ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? 4. Practice presence. Use grounding exercises like deep breathing, journaling, or mindful walks to stay rooted in the now. 5. Document the process. Keep notes or photos of your journey. Looking back, you'll realize how far you've come. The treasure may sparkle at the end, but the path is where life truly unfolds. Lesson 4. Overcoming fear. Fear is one of the biggest villains in The Alchemist. Santiago constantly battles it. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of the unknown. But the book insists, fear is often a bigger obstacle than the thing itself. Think about it. How many opportunities have you let slip because fear whispered, what if you fail? Fear magnifies risks and shrinks possibilities. Yet, Coelho teaches that once you step into fear, it dissolves. Practical tips. 1. Name your fears. Write down, I'm afraid of. Naming them makes them less powerful. 2. Do fear setting. Tim Ferriss popularized this. Define the worst-case scenario, how you'd recover, and what's actually likely to happen. 3. Take micro-bravery steps. Speak up in a meeting, ask that person out, publish that blog post. Courage grows with practice. 4. Reframe fear as a compass. If something scares you but excites you, it's often pointing you toward growth. 5. Use the 5-second rule. When fear strikes, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and act before your brain talks you out of it. Fear is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. Santiago's journey reminds us, beyond fear lies freedom. Lesson 5. The language of the world. In The Alchemist, Santiago learns about the language of the world, a universal way everything communicates, often through signs, omens, and synchronicities. This is Coelho's way of showing that life speaks to us, if we're willing to listen. For you and me, this might mean paying attention to opportunities, coincidences, or moments that feel too perfect to be random. Whether you call it intuition, God, or the universe, there's wisdom in being alert. Practical tips. 1. Stay observant. When something unusual repeats, like hearing about the same idea from different sources, ask, what's this pointing to? 2. Practice openness. Instead of brushing things off as coincidence, consider, could this be guidance? 3. Keep a synchronicity log. Track surprising alignments in your life. Over time, patterns emerge. 4. Ask for signs. When facing choices, ask life for clarity, then watch for subtle nudges. 5. Trust but verify. Don't blindly follow every omen. Combine intuition with discernment. Life is always whispering. The question is, are you listening? Lesson 6. The value of resilience. Santiago's journey is full of setbacks, robbery, failure, doubt. Yet, every time, he chooses resilience. He doesn't quit. He adapts, learns, and keeps moving. That's a lesson for all of us. Goals are never reached in straight lines. Setbacks aren't signs to quit. They're invitations to grow stronger. Practical tips. 1. Reframe failure. Instead of "I failed," say, "I learned." Ask, "What did this teach me?" 2. Build a resilience toolkit. Journaling, exercise, meditation, practices that restore your strength when times get hard. 3. Surround with support. Find people who lift you when you stumble. Resilience is contagious. 4. Visualize comeback stories. Imagine your future self looking back proudly at how you overcame today's struggles. 5. Adopt the 24-hour rule. When you fail, give yourself 24 hours to feel it, then get back to action. The treasure belongs not to the one who never falls, but to the one who always rises. Lesson 7. The importance of taking action. Dreams without action stay dreams. Santiago could have spent his whole life dreaming of treasure. Instead, he moved. He sold his flock, left home, and set out, even with no guarantees. This is Coelho's point. Wishing isn't enough. The universe helps those who act. Practical tips. 1. Start messy. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Progress beats perfection. 2. Create momentum. Break big goals into small, doable tasks you can tackle today. 3. Set action deadlines. Put timeframes on your goals so they don't drift. 4. Track execution, not just ideas. Ask, what did I actually do today toward my dream? 5. Reward effort, not just results. Celebrate taking action, even if the outcome isn't instant. Dreams matter, but only action makes them real. Lesson 8. Trusting the process. Santiago learns to trust that even detours serve the bigger plan. Working for the crystal merchant seemed like a delay, but it gave him money, skills, and clarity. This is life. What looks like a setback is often preparation. Trusting the process means believing that your story is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Practical tips. 1. Zoom out. Ask yourself, how might this challenge be helping me in ways I can't see yet? 2. Adopt patience rituals. Deep breathing, journaling, or meditation when frustration rises. 3. Focus on controllables. Do your best with what's in your hands. Release what's not. 4. Revisit past detours. Look at times you thought things went wrong, but later saw their value. 5. Affirm progress. Tell yourself, I am exactly where I need to be for my journey. When you trust the process, life feels less like chaos and more like choreography. Lesson 9. The transformative power of love. Santiago meets Fatima, and love tempts him to abandon his quest. But he learns that real love doesn't hold you back. It pushes you forward. Fatima encourages him to keep chasing his treasure, knowing that if it's true, love will remain. This teaches us that love, whether romantic or otherwise, should empower your growth, not confine it. Practical tips. 1. Check alignment. Ask, does this relationship support my personal legend or pull me away from it? 2. Communicate dreams. Share your goals openly with loved ones. Invite them into your vision. 3. Encourage reciprocity. Support the dreams of those you love too. Growth should be mutual. 4. Balance presence and pursuit. Love people fully in the moment, but don't abandon your calling. 5. Redefine love. See it not as possession, but as partnership and growth. True love fuels dreams instead of extinguishing them. Lesson 10. The treasure within. Here's the ultimate twist in The Alchemist. Santiago's treasure was buried not in Egypt, but back where he started. The entire journey was necessary, not because the treasure was far away, but because Santiago needed to transform to see it. The lesson? The treasure is within you. External goals are important, but true fulfillment comes from inner growth, wisdom, and self-discovery. Practical tips. 1. Practice self-reflection. Spend time asking, what have I learned about myself lately? 2. Invest in growth. Read, learn, and expand your mind. Treasure grows as you grow. 3. Cultivate gratitude. Notice the beauty in your present life. Often, what you seek is already here. 4. Balance pursuit with presence. Chase dreams, yes, but don't miss the treasures of today. 5. Define your inner wealth. Ask, what values, skills, or relationships are my true riches? The greatest treasure isn't gold or glory. It's becoming who you were meant to be. So there you have it, 10 powerful lessons from the alchemist that can change the way you see your life and your dreams. From following your personal legend to trusting the process and realizing the treasure within, this story is more than a fable. It's a practical guide for living fully. Now here's my challenge for you. Which of these lessons speaks to you the most right now? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your personal take. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share this with a friend chasing their dreams, and subscribe for more deep dives into books that transform lives. Remember, the universe is waiting for you to act. Your treasure is closer than you think.